So I love it. But a lot of people are digging into 90 Day Fiancé season 10. Nikki Exotica, who is the trans individual on the show, we're now learning, because she's also a plastic surgery consultant. So I don't know if you've seen the memes, but poor thing, people are making fun of her. They're like, she should sue the plastic surgeon. She's obviously just addicted to plastic surgery. Some people love it. They love that cat look. They love the plasticky look. I mean, she's had an eye color transplant, for God's sakes. And she was stunning when she first transitioned at 20 years old. And then we know now Jason Torres was her name before transitioning. That was her given name at birth. Nikki, $1 million. She has spent $1 million in plastic surgery. And so, people have a lot to say about that, but that's sort of the big thing that's coming out. Absolutely beautiful, though, when she transitioned. And it's gone a little far. We have an update on Nicola and Israel, Misha and Nicola. As you guys know, before the 90 days, the season that just wrapped, Misha is giving an update that Nicola and his family are safe in Israel. She's asking for prayers. I mean, what's happening there? I stand with Israel 100%. Hamas is a terrorist group, and it's disgusting what's happening, and innocent people are going to die, and these women and children being kidnapped. I mean, the images it's so hard to watch. It's so hard to watch. And I know it's nuanced. I know a lot of viewers probably much more well-versed on Palestinian-Israel conflict. But look, we have to find a way to have peace. And, Hamas is not Palestine. It's not Palestinian people. It's a terrorist group, much like ISIS was on 9/11. It's disgusting to see what they're doing. And, I have strong feelings about it because I completely support Israel and destroying this terrorist group. And it's scary for our Jewish friends everywhere, because it's only going to increase the anti-Semitism that already is so prevalent. And it's just insane to hate somebody over religion. It's crazy. And hopefully they can figure out a conflict that is resolute for both parties, so innocent people don't die, because it's these government people that are making the decisions to go to war, not most of us who are human who could find a resolution and want to live in peace and just want to raise our kids. And that's on both sides. So Nicola and Misha want you to pray. So many morons on Misha's page going, Nicola's here in the US. Guys, I mean, you guys aren't the morons on Misha's page, but these other idiots are like, no, Nicola's here. He was here over the summer, and Misha is literally on Instagram pages going, yeah, he was here for 5 weeks this summer, guys, but he went back to Israel. He's there. And people don't believe her. That's where we're at with the internet. 90 Day Season 6, we have an arrest, major arrest, felony charges, and 6 years in prison potentially for Leda Margaritha. You might remember Leda. She moved to Wisconsin with her fiance, Eric Rosenbrook. You remember that couple? Season 6 was a hot second ago. Now from Loggerhead Deco, apparently Leda was helping herself, making fake client accounts, depositing it into her account, cashing checks, stealing some money from the till. So they turned her in. Her mugshots all over TMZ, everywhere else. She's been charged with at least 3 felonies, so she could look for 6 years in the slammer. Leda. And people didn't like Leda on season 6. They thought she was like a biatch, and she was like not great to Eric, and she had specific ways she wanted things done and how much she wanted. So a lot of people think it's karma. I don't know. I haven't heard from Leda in a hot second, so I think that's kind of hard to hear. But anyway, needless to say, a lot of people following that story this week. We know Kimberly and Usman, also from a couple of 90-day franchises. Kimberly and Riley did an Instagram live where they hit it off and flirted. Riley from before the 90 days with Nicola and Misha. That same Riley who was with Violet is now headed to San Diego to have a date with Kimberly. Do you imagine? Yes. I love it. Love, love, love. Anyway, Jenny and Sumi Jenny and Sumi posted another picture. Jenny and Sumi are like by far and away like the runaway stars of 90 Day Fiance. These two, so hot. Jenny's like 30 years older than Sumi. Sumi looks like the Indian version of fucking John Hamm. This guy gets younger, he gets hotter, he gets abs. He's like got these fantastic writer's glasses on. This man looks snatched, honey. I don't know what it is. And Jenny looks like younger than ever. She's like 60. Queen looks late 40s. They look so good. They post pictures left and right. It is like, okay. Oh, the other weird story too. There's a lot of gossip. The other weird story is Paul and Karini at Disneyland together. Paul and Karini from 90 Day. You know, they still, it's going on 2 years they've lost custody. More than that, 2 or 3 years. Their children were taken by CPS. I think they're with like a cousin of Paul's or something, like they're in the family. Karini in Brazil. You know, Paul pulled that crap this summer where he was supposedly missing in Brazil. And then she said, oh, RIP, you were a good dad. Bullshit. He was like alive in the, he's there. He's not all right. Anyway. The elevator doesn't go to the top for either one of them. But anyway, now they were at Disneyland and they put out a statement like, people were like, oh, you still don't have custody of your kids. You're now together at Disneyland. Paul says he's dating somebody else. They went as friends because she always wanted to go. I wish them all the best. It seems like a very sad situation. I can't imagine losing custody of my child. Seems like the worst thing ever. And lastly, Veronica and Jamal, Kimberly's son, Jamal and Veronica, who used to be with Tim from the 90 Day franchise, are together. So, and actually Tim was like Veronica's ex. And then I think Tim was on 90 Day with another woman. Anyway, Veronica and Jamal are also still together. So there's a lot of crossover, a lot of people. Oh, I got one more crazy story for you. Kalani from Last Resort. Oh, Sarah Fraser, you are burying the lead. Huge this is like hot off the presses. Instagram post by Kalani. Kalani just dropped this, and it's a huge revelation about what people are calling sexual assault by Aseulu. So she just put this out on her Instagram. She's been getting death threats since being on Last Resort, which just wrapped up this week, had its final episode. She said, I've had enough of the hate mail and rape/death threats. So let's clear some things up. I did not have a one-night stand with Aseulu. We didn't even kiss until 2 weeks after knowing each other. I met him in July of 2016. We intentionally got pregnant May 2017. Now, this all stems from questioning like their timeline on Last Resort. There's been a lot of people who said they were never together. They did this show for money, so people are coming for them because it was fake. She's never been back with Aseulu. Aseulu, of course, cheated on her, got thrust of the mouth. There's some drama. My parents did not monetarily support me in any way and never have. The Utah house was half mine. That's public record. And I always paid my part. I do not live with my parents and I support myself. I had a second baby. This is what's getting people fired up. I had a second baby because I was held down. He apologized for that. This is about Aseulu. And the other times I was sexually assaulted, I was SA. It's recorded. You can imagine how it feels to get messages about taking responsibility and learning to keep my legs shut when they were forced open. None of you know anyone that you watch on TV. You know a version of people and you crucify them over things out of their control. And for what? May all of that energy be returned back to you and yours. I want to have her on the show. Isn't that, that's like, I mean, I did not know that about that Aseulu sexually assaulted her and that's how they had their second kid. Of course, anytime you post your truth, people have got something to say about it. I've posted mine. People have all kinds of things to say. Not about sexual assault, knock on wood. That has never happened to me. Hopefully, you know, God willing, never does. But just in other general things, workplace situations. But a lot of people in support of Kalani today, and then a lot of people saying, why would you tell this story publicly when now your son knows he's a product of SA? Look, you got to tell your truth, you know. Then a lot of other people saying, look, children know this. A lot of children are products of SA, and, you know, that's also part of their story and their truth. All right, just in time, I got to take this phone call. If you didn't catch my review of Sister Wives, season 18, episode 8, it's out right now. Or listen right now.
Sarah Fraser 1 if you are ready to speak to an associate.